every bar around. I've been locked up for driving 120 through town. I've been shot at and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Threw my boss out the window and got fired for my last job. Hot wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Beat my brother-in-law half to death. Lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Good old boys, we're all the same. Ain't no way we'll ever change. Ain't no harm by the things we do or the trouble that we get into.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome to the very serious world.
Very serious, very serious program this morning.
Very serious. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. T.
Lots to talk about today.
Her.
Wade and Carter Weather brought to you by our friends at AT Deerland Feed. For everything you need, there's Deerland Feed.
And you'll need stuff for your mosquitoes and your fleas. They got it.
Oh,
Go get it.
Kind of like yesterday, 74 degrees and cloudy, heading to a high of 86. I think it's exactly the same as yesterday. Instead of getting windy at noon, it's going to get windy about 11. So it's yesterday 2.0. Dope.
Judge Posey, first one on the podium. Ricky King, Rena Scherer, saw the judge. Had the good fortune to see the judge yesterday when I went and grabbed some dinner.
Always great to see the judge.
I won't tell where we were eating, Judge, because it wasn't the healthiest of choices, but boy, it was so good.
Fantastic.
But it was good to run into you, sir. Scott Tomko, good morning. Justin Glass, Greg Garcia, Mark Kurtz, Bobby Leister, Lisa Poole, Amanda King, Sarah Elkins checking in, Linda Christ. Good morning, Monty Howard, Stephanie Cotty, Marvin Mickish, Junior Samples, Andy Rokovich, Scott Snow, Sherry Jacobs, Tammy Keeling, Scott Tomko, Buddy Stavanoa, Hockey Half Minute, Stars beat the Avs 6-2, looked really good yesterday.
I switched over there. I thought about Scott Tomko. The Astros had won. And I flipped over there and I realized I was just getting in at the very beginning, first period of the Stars game. And I said, I can't. I
scored 9 seconds in.
Yeah, I just said I can't. I if I get wrapped up in this, I'll never.
You won't go to sleep.
So I had to get rid of that. But I thought about Scott because I said Tomko's watching this fair share. Yeah. By the way, you can go eat whatever you want to eat. If the next day, maybe the next couple of days, you get into Parvita Wellness, just get in and get healthy.
True enough.
Let Erica Briggs help you out with some lean offerings, low carb, maybe low sugar.
I would have eaten that, but I was out of meals.
There you go.
Ate them all.
There you have it.
Junior Samples diving right into it. New Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney. Liberals win the election.
He's a loser. He'll be a loser, but he's their loser. So,
says he's going to be tough with Trump.
Oh, yeah, right. He's going to be tough with Trump.
If he is, it'll be to the detriment of Canada. But it's, you got to blame the conservatives and conservative voters, and they did not do a very good job of appealing to, because obviously, if you go from here's the problem in Canada. Canadians are typically vote liberal. And you have a bunch of soft, mushy in the middle liberals who, when they get mad at
like
the Liberal
Rolo?
Party,
like a
Rolo. More like a Kraft softy toffee for the Canadians that are listening. They'll know.
Like a cheese curd with something in the middle.
And they squeak. So they're more like a cheese curd because cheese curds squeak when you eat them.
Yeah, that's what bugs me about them.
And you've got a bunch of mushy in the middle Canadians who, when they get mad at the Liberals, they'll threaten to vote conservative. And that's what they did this time. And the Conservatives ended up losing what was apparently a 30-point lead in the polls. And now they have they are the minority party in a minority government. Pierre Poilievre lost his seat in Ontario, which I've never understood why he's running in Ontario when he should be running in Alberta, where he had no chance of losing. And
I don't get their politics and the way they do things.
This will be real interesting for Canadians. And I don't think the outcome is going to be what Canadians thought or think it's going to be.
Greg Garcia says Canada is not learning its lesson. I guess it hasn't gotten bad enough for them yet.
Well, here's the thing. The Liberal government has been blamed for everything under the sun in the last 10 years, as long as Justin Trudeau has been the prime minister. Affordable housing is the government's fault. Healthcare problems are the government's fault as far as access and funding. So you just voted for the party that you blamed for you blame for the problems.
Mm-hmm.
The carbon tax, which was going to fix. Here's the other thing that Canadians this drives me nuts. Trudeau, Mark Carney was his financial advisor. So let's put in a carbon tax. We're going to tax carbon because that's the way to fix the environment and make our friends rich over here.
Drive you to electric vehicles.
Yeah. So what does Mark Carney do as soon as he gets elected as the leader of the Liberal Party 5 weeks ago to become the de facto prime minister? Repeals it.
But he's the one that crafted it.
Yes.
Interesting.
And that just tells you it's a shell game, that it means absolutely nothing and won't have any impact on the environment. But what Canadians saw the last 5 weeks was a prime minister whose government did absolutely no governing for 5 weeks, and they elected that jackhat anyway.
There you have it.
So, you know what?
Still gets riled up, Cody. Been here 20 years. Still gets riled up.
Almost 30. No,
almost 30.
Because I've got to wade through that garbage on my social media feeds, and now you're going to reap what you sow.
Oh, Canada.
Can we do that
the
more?
Stars are brightly shining.
Can we do that more in a sort of a funeral somber mode tone?
It's got to be dirge-like.
Yeah.
It's more like Eeyore sings Canadian hits. Oh, Canada. Yeah, there you have it.
There's Jared. He's a WEF a-hole. Yep.
Right. Interesting, though. It's interesting to me that Canada, you run on a platform of I'm going to be tough on Trump, because now Trump derangement syndrome has crossed the border to where Canadians hate Trump and they blame Trump for all of their country's problems as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me.
That's exactly what it is. This is Trump's fault. So
their country's problems are now Trump's fault.
So we're going to, instead of electing a leader who might have worked with Trump to bring things into alignment.
Because I got to figure. So to me, this deal plays out a lot like Russia-Ukraine. At the end of the day, you can fantasize all you want. Is your position that Ukraine is going to take over Russia? Or are they just going to have a fallback position where all of a sudden Russia just says, okay, fine, we'll just go home. Here's all the land back that we've taken. I'm sorry, we killed all your people. We're going to go home now. It's not going to happen. At the end of the day, Canada, just as Trump says, doesn't have the cards. We live in a world of world court, of world opinion, of world feelings. It just doesn't seem right that Ukraine was attacked for no reason and somehow Russia's going to benefit from it. Hello. What, has anybody studied the Roman Empire? I mean, they didn't go in and just whip everybody's butt and go, I'm sorry.
They studied the Mexico-American War.
There you go. I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but to what extent? How many of you would take your 18-year-old son and go, it is wrong what Russia did. Here's your M16. Don't forget to take the safety off. Have a nice week. I'm not sending my kid over there to fight over Ukraine and Russia. This ain't my Vietnam.
You're not like that CIA guy whose son died in Russia last year. We're just finding out about this. Went there fighting for Russia. Does anybody believe that guy's son was actually fighting on behalf of Russia and he wanted to go there and build a water treatment plant? I mean, it took him a year to come up with that backstory.
Oh, yeah.
He was there on behalf of our government. Nobody's going to convince me otherwise.
But I spent some time on Twitter, and the other day I was perusing a guy. I was visiting with a guy. He's a nice guy. He's from somewhere in Europe, and he's only on like early in the day, and he was making the comment
because that's midday over there,
and he was making the comment that now that the U.S. has closed up USAID, we've just turned over Europe to Russia. That's what we've done, is by closing up USAID, we have now just given the extremist on the other side every opportunity to influence and take. So what you're telling me is you want me just to keep pumping billions of dollars over there to lead a horse to water? I mean, at some point, he goes, no, I get it. It's America first now, but I think that's going to come back to bite y'all. And I go, look, I mean, he's like, Ukraine's going to fall and Putin's not going to stop. He's going to start going west through Europe. And I'm like, really? I mean, really?
No, that's what they do.
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
And then you're going to need the U.S. You're going to need us.
Well, what he just admitted was USAID was allowing for all these countries in Europe to put their money into other things, while the U.S. was propping up whatever he accused the U.S. of propping up. So these countries could easily reclaim their own money and put it into those purposes. But that would have to probably then be at the sacrifice of sex change operations for 8-year-old boys who think they're a girl, and all the other, and the carbon credits and all the other stupid products like buying up farmland in the Netherlands because cows are farting.
When you look at Ukraine, there is no getting away from, and Ash and I agreed on it here, that if Zelensky would have signed the minerals deal, which is what this is all about, it's all about something in the ground that both countries want, and nobody's getting to that point. They act like it's about political ideologies. It is not. If Zelensky would have signed the mineral deal, Trump said it in the meeting live for Putin to hear. We will have engineers, mining teams. We will bring the equipment. We will bring the technology. Our presence there will end the war, because Putin is not going to go back on his word and bomb me. And Zelensky, I need more. I need more. He wants United States. And by the way, when he said that, some of the EU countries said, well, we'll provide boots on the ground. And he said, that's not enough, because we talked about it here a month ago. Putin doesn't care about Western Europe troops, but he's not going to kill Americans.
He doesn't care about North Korean troops.
That's right. He's just run them up to the front line. Sure, put them up front.
And has brainwashed the North Koreans to think that they're fighting for justice and doing the right thing.
That's right. But
they're
at
so
the end of the
proud
day,
of their men actually having a job.
Hey. If Zelensky would have just signed the mineral deal, and Trump would have sent, pick one, Halliburton over there to help mine the products, at the end of the moment, the war would have ended, because Putin's not going to send a missile strike into Kyiv when there's 5,000 American workers living there. And he said it live. He goes, I need more. He goes, how much more do you need? He goes, Putin breaks his word all the time. And Trump said, not to me. Not to me. He doesn't break his word.
Well, that's because you're your boyfriend.
Right. So see, there you go. So just let him waller in it for a while.
Meanwhile, Putin announcing this morning a 3-day ceasefire, May 8th through 11th.
Yeah.
Where's he going?
I don't know. It must be horseback riding. Trump demanded a permanent truce.
Yeah.
But again, the fact of the matter is, I fully believe Russia started the war. Ukraine is correct. Ukraine is a victim. Ukraine can't win, and I don't want one American soldier to die over it, because Trump said,
late.
You don't, yeah.
Just have the CIA director or associate
Trump
directors.
said, you don't have the cards. Don't play this hand. There's nothing wrong with common sense. I mean, I knew kids growing up that if they said, I'm going to whip your fanny after school, I started negotiating. I didn't go fine and start trying to rally my buddies to let's all jump him.
Do you ever get paid back any of that lunch money you gave to the bully
No.
when he stopped bullying you?
No, you don't get that money back. Ukraine is not in a strong position, period. Is it unfair? Absolutely. Is war unfair? Absolutely. That's why you've heard me joke here. What's the use of being the world's last superpower if you can't nuke somebody once in a while? I've been all for just eliminating parts of the Middle East. I think it would be interesting. Would you have guilt? No. Yeah. Greg Garcia asked, has everyone forgotten how Tucker Carlson exposed the fact that Ukraine was selling other arms that we sent them on the black market? Yeah. Oh, yeah, and this guy from Europe, he told me, he goes, all you guys did was send them a bunch of old weapons that y'all didn't need. I go, to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. He goes, 111 billion. That's what you gave them. 111 billion? Like, that's just no big deal?
Old weapons.
Yeah.
As opposed to no weapons?
I think it's pure genius that Trump sends them old munitions and then gives contracts to American companies to build new weapons.
Oh, Biden did the same.
That's genius for the administrations to do.
Well, and let's really say what it is, okay? It's corporate welfare to the military-industrial complex. Because if that stuff's sitting there not getting used, they can't make any more weapons.
That's a powerful lobby.
Jet engines.
Yep. It's a powerful, powerful lobby. Raytheon, all those
if
folks.
we give it to Ukraine, then those factories start up again.
Yep. I don't disagree with Kathleen. You're taking a harsh position, but she says Zelensky is a fool holding out for a personal payday. He couldn't give a flip about Ukrainian citizens. I don't know about that. But that's extreme. But
I do agree there's some personal benefit.
Oh, there's no doubt. He'll be in the French Riviera chilling, drinking, Chablis.
There's David Glass checking in. Melissa Hansen, good morning. Did we miss
morning.
Anybody else this morning before we move on?
Junior,
yeah. Well, no, I said hi to Junior.
Did you?
Monty Howard says Canada might turn into California del Norte. Pretty much is really, except for the little piece that's carved out. That's Alberta, which was solidly conservative. And southern Saskatchewan, because the northern half voted liberal, which kind of surprised me.
Why don't we take a quick break?
Yeah.
Get one set of guests in here. We got a full day, folks, so just bear with us. Dollar Floor Store, tell them, Ash.
Dollar Floor Store, the Floor Trader, get in there today. They're in the same place along Navarro where Harbor Freight is. So if you don't know where Harbor Freight is, you can't find it. You can't miss it. Right at the corner of Navarro and Crestwood. Dollar Floor Store is right there. If you're a builder, if you're renovating, if you're a contractor, you want to go into the Dollar Floor Store. You will save your customers money, or you will increase your profit margins one way or the other, because they offer flooring at the rock bottom prices, quality brand name flooring that you'll find everywhere else at way, way, way discounted prices.
There you go. Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Had a conversation with Bob Constantine the other night, and he said he's going to make some signage to let folks know when it's Wade and Carter night at Palace Bingo, essentially quieting the naysayers. If we get a little rowdy, it's going to say, hey, this is where friends meet friends. There's Brent going. Good morning, buddy. We talked about the offices at 205. JP is in Maui celebrating his 50th birthday. He said he's going to fill up everybody's yacht for free. That's what he's going to do, is just pump fuel for them. Chopping block, what's happening this week?
Get in there today.
Tomorrow's Wacky Wing Wednesday, but today is a great day to get in and get some meat. White Trash Services, White Trash Site Services, let them help you have a trash-tastic day. You got an old barn, you got something on the property you need to get rid of, they'll come out, tear it down. I always wonder why they called that raise until I learned how to spell.
Whole picanhas on the sale this week at the chopping block for $10.99 a pound.
Wow, that's great.
And their Mardi Gras sausage is $8.99 a pound, so that's good stuff.
All their sausages are fantastic.
my favorite boudin right there.
There you go. White Trash Services for all your trash needs. So we're mixing it up today. We got lots going on. We have our buddy Pat Matula, the original Texas Playboy, is back in town. Hello, sir.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're
Good,
doing
you?
great. Tell us who you're.
You gotta get a little closer to that microphone. You're no stranger to microphones.
Oh, so I bring Andy from the VFW.
I know, Andy. How are you, sir?
He's what is,
Good.
what is your title?
I'm the right now. I'm the post commander.
Oh,
until
fantastic.
July 1st.
At VFW.
Yes, sir. The VFW post 4146 here off Lova Drive.
Now, is that where James Kirk used to be the post commander? Is that
No, sir.
Was he-
James Kirk was the
Legion, I think.
commander of the American
French
Legion.
Foreign Legion? Yeah, that's him. That's right. He's an ex-Pat. I'm with you. Okay, good. And this is the current Pat. So talk to us,
All right.
brother. What's happening?
So a couple of things. May 3rd, we're going to do another dance at the VFW here in town.
That'd be this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get it. Let's
Coming
bring
up
it into
quick.
context.
Yeah,
So
let's
these
go to
people, listeners are
Saturday.
slow.
I forgot it's already May.
So Saturday, yeah. I'm
It's
a little
not
on the
yet.
beat this time, but yeah, this Saturday. And so just wanted to bring to everybody's attention that some of the proceeds do benefit the veterans there. So, if you're a supporter, if you got family, friends, or veterans, or we appreciate everyone's support on that because it does help the community in a bunch of ways.
Go drink a bunch of beer when you're watching Pat, and that'll all help the veterans.
And it helps Pat sound better. It's not that he's not got some game, but a couple of beers, and you're like, man, that guy, if you wink just right, it's like listening to Vince Gill.
Drink
That's
a few more. Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
It's like he
what I've heard.
kind of looks like Mark Chestnut with a straighter back.
The drunker you get.
Right, the better he sounds.
Pat says the same thing. The more I drink, the better I sound.
So, so May 3rd, we're going to do another dance there. Again, it's the VFW is family friendly. We have, there's barbecue pulled pork sandwiches there. Of course, there's cold beer, soda setups, BYOB.
That's a nice thing for a lot of folks because they can take what they want. It makes the evening
And look,
less expensive.
it's not Mother's Day yet, but what I want everybody to know is, your mom doesn't want flowers and jewelry. They really want to go dancing. So I think, and it's never too early, even though we're a week, it's never too early to take her dancing. So
every day should be Mother's
you
Day.
can take her dancing, come out and buy a hat and a t-shirt and get, then you have a gift and a date all in one. Barbecue sandwich.
Yeah, dinner and a dancing. How can you go wrong? I think it's genius. Plus, you beat the Mother's Day crowd.
Junior says he enjoys your music at Branded Cowboy Church.
Nice. I'll be there again Sunday.
There you go. Riker's playing with your management.
He's attacking.
He's harmless,
He's
though.
attacking the building owner. It's fine.
Close the door.
So I bring Andy with me. I just wanted him to say a word on how these dances, we're going to do them and try to do them quarterly. Continue to do these dances quarterly at VFW. And I bring Andy along just to tell his side of the story of how it's benefiting the local veterans.
Andy, tell us about the VFW mission and tell us how Pat's deal is going to help.
The main thing about what Pat is bringing in is the community. One of the hardest things and the stereotype that the VFW has is it's a dark place that a bunch of old veterans that don't give a dang about society just sit there, drink, and get drunk. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not.
Right, we
because
know that.
We can't see at a certain age, so we have to have it lit.
It's very well lit when they sit there and get drunk and be antisocial.
And we just sit there and we talk to each other. It's a great clutch, a crutch for the veterans to talk to each other and get things off there. Every story is different, but the ending is the same. What he brings in is basically the community. We want the community to know that we do have a VFW there and we do interact with the community. That's one of the reasons why we have things like we have burger night every Wednesday from 5 to 8, and it's open to the public, and people are starting to know that, and we're trying to let the community know that we're not a bunch of old drunken veterans
100% agree with that. I've been to all
country
types
anymore.
of functions there. You're there on Lova Drive. Is that where the dance is going to be?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's a great venue. They got a little stage there.
Oh, it's nice.
You'll fill that stage up with your band.
Yeah, the venue works good. We dig it. So anyways, that's what I wanted to come in here and talk to you guys about. First
Awesome.
and foremost is the dance this Saturday there for the veterans and the community. So, like I say, family friendly, fun for everybody. Come on.
What time's it start?
8 to 12.
8 to 12, folks. I highly recommend get by, visit with these veterans, thank them for their service. Enjoy the evening. Pat's band is awesome. He does a great job. You still playing the fiddle a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Just
we do a little bit.
Well, it's great country swing type music. It's just there's something for everybody. And like you said, take your kids. There's pulled pork sandwiches. There's soft drinks. It's not going to be some rowdy bar environment.
No.
It's a nice place for the family to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, come see us this Saturday, May 3rd at the VFW here in Victoria. One other thing.
He didn't tell us about the one other thing.
No,
I
he didn't tell us about the
know.
one
I know.
It's
This
like
is
a Joe Biden press conference.
I know this is going to cost extra, so I bring your pay.
Oh,
I bring your
brought us
payday
tickets.
with you. So, June 7th, I'm going to do a what's called the concert for the record, and the proceeds are going to go to the record that myself and the Lone Star Playboys are going to be cutting later on this summer. It comes with a big package. There's a steak dinner, goes along steak and wine, some adult beverages, BYOB. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be at RN Arena, June 7th. RN Arena is, if anybody's wondering, is in Inez, Texas, 3343 O Highway Road. Anyhow, there will only be 85 of these tickets sold. They're $100 a piece. Again, it's a steak dinner. It's going to be a pretty elegant cowboy night, I guess you would call it.
Wear your Stark shirt.
Right. Cowboy up. Come have
Make sure
steaks
the
and some
jeans are
drinks with
pressed.
us. And there'll be steak dinner. Then there'll be a dance afterwards for a little while. And then, like I said, there'll be some packages giveaway. I'm going to give away some lifetime passes to our dances. So
Oh, wow.
you'll be a lifetime member. You'll have a credential that you can carry with you forever to come to our dances. Some of that. There'll be a bunch of giveaways, but
That's really cool.
Here's the
'cause
marketing for that. You sell the lifetime packages. Then on your very next show, it's your last show ever.
right.
You make a bunch of money
Yeah.
and run to Mexico.
Now it's the Lone Star Playboys 2.0. It's a different band.
So it's called
Unbelievable.
Concert for the Record. And like I said, they're $100 a ticket. Once we cut the record, if you purchase one of these tickets, we will still have your stub from the event. And we're logging everybody who buys these tickets. We'll cut the record. You'll also receive a free copy of that.
Nice.
New Year's Eve, 26. We'll be back at Inez Dance Hall. So that's where the record will drop, and you'll get your free CD that night.
Cool.
And then we'll have
That's
some more for
pretty
purchase
cool.
for everybody. But
You can do in vinyl.
That's some creative.
yes, we're gonna do vinyl.
Nice.
So Concert for the Record is what that called. So if you start hearing about it on social media, that's just the insight on that. It's going to help us cut a record. It's hard to do without any sponsorship. Usually runs about 80 grand to do
Wow.
a record now. So I'm getting it done for about 30.
Nice.
We could do it up here for 20.
We can do
Yeah.
it. The
A
acoustics
solid
are
I know.
great.
I'm
The
pretty
acoustics are great.
fluent with y'all's recording skills already.
Yeah, I think
So-
Billy's Discount Records.
I mean, you did it up here. We got a great title for the album, 205 and a half sessions.
Right. Looky there.
It's the number of times it takes us to get it right.
Absolutely.
Play it again.
But so there's 4 tickets.
I think we're going to be
Nice. Yeah.
And, yeah, or you can give them away too, but they're yours.
there. Awesome.
If you
Nice.
can't come, if you have to babysit again or something, and
Exactly.
can't come,
I know exactly how that
you
goes.
know.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I appreciate y'all having
We
us.
appreciate you. You've
That's
got a
the
great
lowdown.
talent. Your shows are a lot of fun. They're engaging. You talk to the audience. I'm excited for the veterans. I mean, obviously, you know, Pat, but we're getting a great program. It'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully, you guys make some money doing that. And I like your approach, Pat. You give a little, you get a little. You're not greedy about it. I think you've always got some great marketing ideas. So.
Yeah.
On top of that, and at the base, the music is great.
Yeah.
The band is tight. The guys are all having fun.
And it's a great show.
It's a great show.
Do you like to dance? Everybody always complains, there's nowhere to go dance anymore.
Oh, no.
Go see Pat whenever he's
see
playing.
Pat.
You'll,
It's coming back now. All of a sudden, Inez is going to start having dances for some reason.
There you go.
I don't know where they
Wonder
got
why.
the
There
Yeah, I
you
don't
go.
know where they
the
got that
came
idea,
from,
huh?
but I'm happy they're doing it.
There you
you
go.
know,
Well, good for you, sir.
we're bringing it
You
back.
guys have a great day. Thanks for
Thanks
coming
for coming
in.
in. Appreciate
We'll
y'all.
take another break and let you slide out. Thanks, brother.
Thank y'all.
Andy, good to see you, brother.
Andy, good to see you, Pat.
That's
Thank you, sir.
awesome. Folks, brand
This,
us.
this Saturday, the VFW.
Commander Cody can put together something for you to help you market your stuff.
Oh, that's the dog.
Oh,
toy.
that's the dog.
Oh,
toy.
no, that's not. That's the good one. There's still one of those left. Surprisingly,
Vintage.
Ash, have you ever met anybody conceited enough to put their own quote on their clothing?
No, I didn't do this. This was a gift. It came to me.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
You might think about giving me a gift as well. Chesnick Furniture, Chesnick and Love, make your house a home. Get in today and see why you just always do better at Chesnick. Go by Chesnick on Saturday morning. Pick out a new love seat, sofa, whatever you want. And Bobby Leon and his family will deliver it to you before you go to the dance on Lova Drive.
Absolutely.
It's that simple. Chesnick Furniture for over 100 years.
And you don't let the kids sit on it until you come home from church
Absolutely.
on Sunday.
Maybe ever.
That's right.
Maybe ever.
The plastic covering
Yeah.
on it.
Be honest, isn't part of the allure of having like a white sofa just to brag that you can keep it clean?
Yeah.
That's true. Went Services went for all your electric and generator needs.
And the kid throws up spaghetti or grape juice all over
Yeah,
it. Or
that's okay.
something.
We've
Yeah.
got it. It's a Scotch Garden. That'll work. You sit down and it cracks.
Cody's over there. No, it doesn't.
He's looking that up. Went Services went for all your generator needs, turnkey generator needs. Just reach around and, well, just stop at a reach around. But at any rate, you can get a new Generac generator from a preferred Generac provider. There you go.
So all this hubbub yesterday about Trump's first 100 days, I'm
Never seen anybody work with any more energy than Donald Trump.
no, but this is the worst. First 100 days is just the worst gimmick
Yeah.
in the history of corporations, organizations, presidencies. Oh, Trump. I think Schumer was out there yesterday going, Trump's approval rating is the worst in any president's 100 days.
Hey, people are upset with change. And you know, I mean, Obama promised hope and change. Trump has delivered action
15,
and change.
What was the number that came in tariffs in the last? And I mean, it's a record number of tariff money that's come into the presidency.
Super tariffs, tons and tons of tariffs. I found it interesting that confirmed numbers from CBP, March 24, 137,000 border crossings. March 25, 7,000.
Yeah.
Those are not Trump numbers. Those are CBP numbers.
Don't talk about that.
So there's things you can see where Trump says he's going to do something and he did it. So we'll see. I saw a graphic today on one of the more liberal deals that said that Doge had found $160 billion in savings, but the cost to taxpayers for that savings was $135 billion. So let me ask you this. If all you do is net $15 billion, but you get rid of all that garbage, if all you do is net $25 billion, but you get rid of all that garbage, why not? Why wouldn't you
I
do
agree.
it? Why wouldn't you do it?
I'm trying to find that.
It should concern you no matter your political bent.
Yeah.
That there are people who are upset because somebody's trying to make the federal government more efficient and smaller. Think about that. There are people who actively believe that a larger, bumbling, unaccountable federal government is what's best for the country. That's what they lobby for.
And they love spending other people's money.
That's right. Sooner or later, you run out of other people's money. Ronald Reagan said that.
Except you don't. You just go deeper and deeper into debt. That's the problem.
Riker's out there with our next guest. Hey, just pet him. He'll stop. The dog is like excited, finding his voice. And it's fine. I love having a studio dog, but he cannot be a nuisance. I'm going to have to get a shock collar for him.
Just so you know, this just coming in, the Wall Street Journal reporting this, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says that a deal has been reached with the automakers to ease tariffs.
Right. Trump's saying, I'm going to back off that because I had no idea that so many of your parts came from other countries. And
Trump knew it.
He's trying to assuage fears that the automakers are going to get affected by tariffs. Have you felt any tariff pressure in any way in any part of your life?
Maybe this weekend because the price of my Tim Hortons coffee went up like 70 cents. So yeah, there's a possibility there, but car makers liked it. Shares of all the major automakers were up at least 1% yesterday.
Based on that?
Yeah.
It makes
Or
me wonder how
overnight.
much Trump honestly is just manipulating the market. The market is up. It's hard to argue that the market is not a better gauge of things than polls on the telephone. Because you never know what the questions are. Are you upset with the idea that Donald Trump could be negatively affecting the country? Yes, I'm upset. Okay, Americans are upset.
Unbelievable.
True story, though. That's how you ask the question. How you phrase the question is how you skew the poll.
Trump at one point had said he wants to use tariffs to get rid of the income tax, right? Ron Paul wanted to get rid of the income tax a long time ago. If you get rid of the income tax, the government gets pared down to paying for what it actually has to pay for. Defense. What else? A couple other things. That's it.
Right. Christy Thurman asked, Brendan, I wonder if Dawn ever thinks about a shock collar for you at times, like at bingo.
You know, the funny thing is, though, Christy, he wasn't the problem at
That's
bingo.
right. And I appreciate you, if not standing up for me, pointing out the fact. By the way, Pat Matula just texted and said that Willie Nelson is 92 today.
Wow.
How about that? 92. Just goes to show that smoking copious amounts of weed doesn't kill
Drinking
you.
a bunch of booze.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bunch of wives, government debt. Willie Nelson still living life at 92.
Fought the IRS and Willie won.
Sure.
Kathleen Leininger says Congress's solution is just keep printing money, making the savings you worked hard for less and less valuable.
Right.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize. The last 5 years of all this unfettered spending that started with COVID, because we just have to do something for the people.
Yeah.
Because we took away their ability to make a living and live life, so we've got to give it back to them.
That is interesting.
somehow.
Right? We're going to forbid you from. I'll never forget Joe Biden saying, "Folks, hey, if we can shut this thing down for a couple of weeks, we may actually get to celebrate the 4th of July."
Yeah.
I'm like, really, Joe? You think you're going to keep me from celebrating the 4th of July? Idiot.
Unbelievable.
That guy's an idiot.
That was their VISD. We'll just take it because we can moment.
Yeah.
And the government lost half this country.
You know, speaking of that, I got a couple of questions. Let's get our guy in here. Let's get Mickey. You got time? We got a guy coming in. We got Mickey Costello coming in, and he's running for school board. And I'm gonna put up a wall for him so he can walk
All
by.
right.
He's thinking. I don't know if is he out there. Is he making tacos or something?
I think I'm not sure what he's. I think
Now that he's a wily.
I think he forgot his cocktail shaker. That's what it was.
Well, he's a wily Wade and Carter veteran, and now he's like in. So, well, the dog. I'm sorry, and I want to apologize that the dog is having growth pangs. I guess he's young and he's
not
super,
used to people.
But yeah,
Not used to different people.
but it's just weird that he's not barking at you like he's upset with you.
Wanted to play.
He just wanted to play,
Yeah,
but
we were playing.
unfortunately, we're doing a
Yeah.
global radio program here. So, how are you
So-
this morning, sir?
Oh, you know what? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Good. I every time you come in, so we're visiting with Mickey Costello. He's running for, what are you looking for?
BISD School Board, District 7.
District 7. Got
Yes,
a
sir.
couple of opponents.
Yes, sir.
You've been
I
on
do.
the streets. So every time that you come in, I always ask you, what are you hearing? What's the latest that you're hearing? What have you heard since you were here a couple of weeks ago?
There's definitely some momentum in Victoria. We are moving in the right direction. I think a lot of people are excited. People are enthusiastic about our new superintendent. I am.
I know some local educators who are also very excited. And they're saying what's interesting is they're saying that money could get tighter, purse strings could get tighter, and they're still excited about it.
And they're still excited
Yes,
about
sir,
it.
I agree.
She has brought in a few different things, incentives that is going to increase the pay of our teachers. There's a lot happening. Momentum is building. Early voting ends today, but we still have May 3rd election day. I was trying to find it before I came in, but I saw something last night where I think the total votes cast is 1,700 something.
Okay. Sure. I mean, there's
through
so
yesterday.
many more voters out there.
So
you
many
know?
more.
Yeah.
But in the 2022 school board election for this same district, 1,900 total votes were cast. That's early voting and election day. So
There
So
you go.
it looks
We
like people are getting
should-
out and vote.
we should surpass that this year.
That's
How
fantastic.
shocked were you by the D rating that Superintendent Coyazzo?
So I'd
broke on this
seen-
show last week.
I'd seen other reports that it showed it as around the D. I was a little surprised, a little disappointed. The past is the past. I'm not going to dwell on it because I think we got a bright future. I think we've got the right people in place right now. We need a strong board that will show support when she needs it, oversight when we need to put the foot down. We'll make all the right decisions. But our new superintendent's moving right along, and we need a strong, independent board to go with that.
I'm now going to make a quantum shift, and I'm now going to refer to Superintendent Coyazzo as
Coyazzo.
Ms. Sheila. From
That's a
now
lot
on
easier to say.
my program, she's Ms. Sheila. Patrick Strauss says he voted yesterday. It's going to be a little busy on Saturday. I recommend you
I
get
think
in
he's got
today
a,
and
I think,
vote.
I think he's going to be, because I think they have a wedding.
Oh, yeah, that's right. P. Strauss has a wedding.
Yep.
Oh, I saw his daughter at the
Blue
Blue
Bonnet,
Bonnet.
yeah.
Just
That's
lovely.
the one getting married.
She's beaming. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's lovely. And I told her, I said, it's not too late. It's never.
to back out.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Right? I mean, you got to give us. I gave you every chance. Gave you every chance. No, I wish them nothing but love and a happy life. Good for them.
Yeah.
Tell me, so Miss Sheila is I find her extremely refreshing. When she's on the program, I've asked her what I've thought were some fairly tough questions.
Mhm.
Like, what are you going to do about? And she doesn't say, well, we're working on
She
that.
has a plan.
She has a plan.
Yes,
I'm,
she
I'm,
does.
I'm proud. And that's better than no plan at all.
And
So-
the, and,
Absolutely.
and the fact that she wanted this job knowing
Knowing
she
our
was getting
ratings,
into?
right? She did
Yeah.
the research.
she said, I
knew.
knew it was a D when I got here.
Yeah.
She did.
But
She
that's
did.
her goal is
And
to
that
turn
didn't
that
scare her
around.
Turn it around.
Yep.
And I think she's moving in the right direction. We,
Good.
there's momentum. I think you can feel it in the community. I was at Blue Bonnet with y'all the other night. People are talking. People are voting. We already have more showing up than they did in the previous election. That's fantastic.
So
people care.
here's
They want to
the
see.
question.
They want to see the change. And
That
then I
was-
think if the accountability
Mhm.
and the D goes to a B,
That's
then that might be the time for VISD to talk
to
about a
float
bond.
a bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
So here's the question that's been on my mind recently. Is that school board is, I mean, obviously you're a conservative guy,
I am.
and school board's a nonpartisan race. Like
It is.
you don't have to run as a Republican or a Democrat or an
right.
independent.
Right. It's
But-
undeclared.
Have you felt or heard of any political groups trying to influence this race? I mean, I'm just curious if you've heard anything that says, well, yeah, that's kind of concerning.
Well,
for
Or
example,
have they tried to influence you?
right.
So being a nonpartisan race, I was very surprised at how political it was.
Right.
There are Republicans, Democrats, conservative, liberal. It's out there, and they're talking. I don't think that the Advocate supports me very much based off of their
Nobody
article,
reads
but,
the
you know,
Advocate. That's 8 old
Yeah,
people who
they-
don't even go vote.
No,
Don't worry about
I
the Advocate.
I would love and appreciate support from everybody. I was raised conservative. I will always lean on my conservative roots. My focus in this, if I win this election, my focus will be on improving that D, but providing a brighter future. I want my kids to come back to Victoria and raise their kids here. And if our schools are good, if we got that D to a B, then, there's a good chance. This is all about our future. That's what this is for. This election will determine how our schools operate for the next few years. And we can set the tone now to set up our future down the road. Industrial got an A. We can get an A.
Yeah, right next door.
Yeah, we just need a strong independent board. The TEA, they push this team of 8 and 7 trustees and the superintendent. And it's important for the community to see that the board votes together. Yeah, yes, that might be important, but I have my district that I'm going to represent, and I'm going to listen to every voice I can. I've said it many times. I don't care who you voted for president. I don't care what a party you affiliate with. My concern is the schools, our kids in this district.
Yeah.
And if you have a concern, a legitimate complaint about our district, our schools, superintendent, a principal, I want to know. That's the only way things get better is by talking.
Yeah, I struggle with these team of 8 type of concepts. I mean,
It's-
you have a leader to make decisions,
Right.
and you don't always have to agree with them.
That's right.
But once the decision is made, you get on board and you go that way. But you
Right.
can also, and especially in this case, you can voice your dissent or,
Yes.
or your opinion that, I may not
I
agree
think
with
that's
this
important.
in every single way. And
Right.
I think it is too,
Right.
because the other way, it
that's
becomes
what
a
got
rubber.
us in this mess.
Absolutely.
That's what
Too many
got us
people
in this. Yes.
willing to stand up.
Right. To not ask
voice-
questions, just
Yeah.
to vote, just to go along to get along. And that's not the way this is supposed to be.
What are you hearing from your constituents as you make your way through the community and talk to folks? Has things changed? Has the message changed from when you got in to where you are now? Or there's some new things that have popped up?
There's some new things. My message has stayed the same. It's what's best for the kids, what's best for Victoria. But I had a meeting with the superintendent a few weeks ago, and she was talking about these 22, 23 ratings and how she was dreading having to give the report. And I said, no, you need to put that on blast. Victoria does not know. Nobody has paid any attention to it. If our town knew that our schools were performing this bad, they would step up. They would get involved and they would help. And I think with these polling numbers, we're seeing it. I think the community is getting involved. You got today to vote all the way till 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock today
and
at
then
Patty Dodson. Yep.
Patty Dotson. And then on
Saturday.
Saturday, you've got from 7 to 7. I put the map. One thing I've been hearing is a lot of people in Victoria County in the outskirts didn't know that they could vote in this election. There's one race on their ballot, and it is for School Board District 7. This district is huge. It goes all the way through Mission Valley, Telfiner, almost to Bloomington. Allo School is in it. I put a map and a link on my Facebook page to show how big this district is. So if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see it. But people need to show up, get involved in this, and we can turn our schools around. And I think we're
there's
heading
no
in the right
doubt.
direction.
I think you can change the schools in an instant.
Yes, sir.
In an instant. And I think that you can do it by just simply saying, we have a higher standard. This is the standard. And then be willing, and I don't know about the TEA and the logistics, be willing to reassign slash teachers that don't meet
Yeah.
your standard.
Either get on board or get out of the way.
That's right. 100%. 100%.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to look up here how long, because you're not involved in this one, how long Margaret Pruitt has been on the school board.
I think 9 years.
12 maybe. Yeah.
Well,
It's been a while.
Then, we don't endorse people, and I'm not mentioning candidates, but I tell you what, if you've been on the school board 12 years, you're part of the problem. It's time to row that person out of there.
And with my race, we need a strong board. We need somebody that's going to support Miss Sheila when she needs it.
Miss Sheila needs it.
But she works for the board. And,
That's right.
and I think, not to talk down about previous boards or trustees. I don't know what they did. I wasn't involved. I wasn't.
A lot of
paying
it's
attention.
reactive, right? Situations come up and
Right.
they react.
Right. And we have a bright future. There's a lot of momentum, and I think great things are coming for VISD.
That's fantastic.
Yep. We just need a strong, independent board that can show support.
Are you going to be standing out at the Patty Dodson today waving at people?
I am. I'm going to be at Patty Dotson today, and then on Saturday, I also pulled a
Because I'm
sheet that shows
fishing Saturday.
all the polling stations where you can vote at all the schools. There's lots of places. I'm going to put that on my Facebook page today, so people know where they can go vote. It doesn't have to be Patty Dotson. All the schools, Allo, Vickers, you can vote at every one of them, so you don't have to come all the
My
way in
experience
town.
has been if you go to your most local elementary school, the one that if Vickers is letting you vote,
Mhm.
the waits are not very long. I
No,
think it's a shame that I think there's lots of folks who don't vote because they're like, I just don't have all day to stand in line. Then you get
Yep.
over there and there's 3 people and you
Yeah.
know 2 of them.
Exactly.
So just go on in and vote and let your voice be heard.
Yeah, it's important. This local election, this is very important. This is going to
Well-
determine how our schools operate for the next few years.
I've said it before, but I think you and your opponents have run. I haven't heard a negative thing said from
No.
anybody. I
Nope.
don't think it was necessary. You've all focused on the task
Yes.
and on your skill sets. And Ash and I always applaud that. I applaud you, number one, for getting in the arena.
Thank you very much.
I'm like,
There might not be a more thankless
there's not.
I've been
job than school board
so I met with
trustee.
a lot of previous trustees, and I've heard that a lot,
Sure.
but they've also said you will get out of this what you put into it. And I will put everything I have into this. I will learn everything I can. There's a lot I don't know. I've never been involved in the schools.
And I think there's some things, I think there's also a misperception that as a trustee, you have more ability to do things.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
I've been hearing that too.
And I don't know that's necessarily always the case. And I
When
think
you
that's
get
what
in there,
people-
we're going to need you to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
yard
yeah.
doesn't look good. I'm with you.
Can we do
get on the mower and start mowing this yard.
there are, there's a lot of stuff that I've heard from constituents. Well, you can do this and this. It's like, well, technically that's the administration's job. I just provide the oversight. We set the agenda. This is what we want accomplished, and the administration figures out how to get it done.
I always, do you feel like you've learned anything about yourself?
About myself,
Yeah,
yes.
through this process.
I've learned a lot about schools, school board, all that, and myself. This is strange to me. I've never been in the public life. The first time I came on your show, I didn't even know your mouth could get that dry. I'd never experienced that before. It's gotten a little easier.
I think you do very well. I do. I think that's good, and we want to keep that conduit open. After the election,
Yes,
we
sir.
want you to come back. So,
Absolutely, I would love to.
and Miss Sheila comes in often, and I'm gonna tell you that I said it that day on the show. We've always had great access to all of our leaders, both elected and hired.
Mm-hmm.
However, she's been here 2 months,
And she's been on here how many times?
Three
times, and I'm going to
on
tell you,
Bill Posey.
she called
is.
us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She called us.
Here's the other thing that impressed me. The other day she came on and basically wanted to talk about the D rating that
Right,
was coming out.
right.
Every
Oh,
other
four.
super who's been on our show
Avoids it.
avoided that sort of stuff and really only came on if they had some agenda they wanted
Yes,
to push. And
Yes, Miss
she
Sheila-
wanted to face this because she knew it was going to be bad.
Yes.
And there were going to people that were going to be mad. And she got out in front of it. And I credit
she
her for
did,
that.
Absolutely. And we talked about it. And I said, put it on blast. If Victoria knew that's how we were performing, that's how we were rated, they would get involved. And they are right now. And we're seeing it in these polling numbers. And I think it's fantastic. I'm excited for election day. Nervous. This is.
It is what it
It
is.
is.
You've done your part. You've
Yeah.
run the race, and we'll see how the finish is.
Yes, sir.
Well, we appreciate you coming in.
Thank y'all very
and,
much.
And wish you nothing but the best, and just keep us in your loop.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right.
y'all very
Good.
much. gentlemen.
Thanks,
That's
Mickey.
Mickey Costello. He's running for what is it? District 7.
Yep.
The dog wants to
Big
go
one.
with you. Good luck. That's fantastic. So that's great. And I, like I said, we've said that all the candidates have been refreshing. We've had them all except Ms. Pruitt. And I'm sorry. I mean, if you've been on the school board for 12 years, I can show you lots of problems that happened on your watch. I'm not saying they're your fault. I'm saying I blame you. That's just the way it is. And it's
Unbelievable.
time to roll on. It's time to get some new blood in there. There you have it. What do you think?
I completely agree with you on
Okay.
that one.
I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't know her. I'm not judging her. I'm just saying, well, gee, it's like, let me drive your car. I won't let you down. Well, you have, you've gone into the wall too many times with clearly not a leader because you haven't changed any of the bad things that have happened. So there we have it. What do you got there? You got something else fun?
I'm just looking at the New York Times this
Oh,
morning.
the
and they're
fear.
talking
We're
about-
going to deport Americans. Now that I've heard it said, well, I'm not going to talk about the relative IQs of entire groups of people, but I've heard it said on Twitter where I think the average IQ is much lower than the general populace. Well, if they can deport someone to El Salvador, the next thing you know, they're just going to round up all the black people and deport them.
Well, listen.
They're called Americans.
Yeah. Listen to this. As Trump ramps up deportations, more sympathetic cases like these are likely to pop up. Trump wants to deport all undocumented immigrants. Some of them are genuine criminals who have done awful things while staying in the United States illegally. Most of them are not. No, they may not have done awful things,
But they're all criminals.
they're all criminals.
Yeah, they're all here illegally.
They are people who came to this country looking for weak or fleeing horrible conditions back home. They might be pregnant, as one of the deported moms is. Oh, well.
Well, I mean, life is a cycle, right? You're in the middle of a cycle.
Or they might be the parents of U.S. citizens So?
Yeah, if your mom and dad are both here illegally and you're here because you're an American, then guess what? You're going to go with your mom and dad. Can you imagine if they ripped that kid away from the mom and dad?
You mean like the cartel did for about 85% of the kids that they brought into this country during the Biden
100%
years?
And then, so you got to look at it in that light and say, you send the parents, the baby's going to go with the parents. So the parents go back to Honduras. Guess what? When the kid's 18, he can come back. He's an American. But he can't until he can live by himself and actually contribute to our society, load him up with his illegal parents and send him home.
Well, and here's the other thing with this. Where's all the money we've been sending to Honduras in the name of humanitarian aid, in the name of bettering their country, in the name of doing the things and the justification for why we've constantly sent money to these countries? Oh, we're doing this to make them better, give them a better place to live. Where's it all gone? Why have conditions not improved in these countries that we've been sending tens, hundreds of billions, maybe trillions of dollars over the last 40 years? Why is Haiti still a garbage dump?
Well, because their elites, their leadership, it's just like Puerto Rico. When Donald Trump said, go down there, there's a warehouse with millions of bottles of water in it. And their governor was terrible. He pointed it out. Everybody called him a racist. Yeah. Next thing you know, the people of Puerto Rico said, hey, we need a new governor. This guy's a clown.
It's worse than Puerto Rico.
That's right. Yeah, Haiti is just, I'm sure the Clintons were involved in that.
Oh, they were.
No doubt.
Tens of millions of dollars into new homes that never got built, and they were supposed to be earthquake proof, and next earthquake, they collapse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree, Kathleen. Remove birthright citizenship. You know what's interesting? You go to some countries in Europe, and just because you're there on vacation and you drop a kid,
doesn't give a
kid ain't a citizen.
I agree 100%. I mean, you hear the stories. Of course, growing up here, you hear the stories about the pregnant mom. When she gets to 36 weeks, they find a way to sneak across the border so that baby could be born here.
Yep. No, that's exactly it.
It's funny, we talk about how America's so tragic, America's so bad. Nobody's trying to get out of here except Rosie O'Donnell. She's just looking for her next carb fest. You're trying to get out of here. Everybody's trying to get into here.
Yeah. And you know what? If a U.S. citizen mom born here, I'm not going to say immigrated here. If you're a born here U.S. citizen, and you started walking across the desert with no water and very little clothing to protect you from the elements at 36 weeks, you'd be charged criminally.
Right. Absolutely. Child endangerment.
But not if you're coming here to get, it's just here for better life. No.
Yeah. And her husband he was a quiet boy. He was just beginning to straighten his life out.
Why is nobody talking about the money the cartel is making to smuggle people back out of this country?
It's craziness.
It is crazy.
Linda adds, the illegals coming here are people that don't stand up and fix their own country. It's easier to come here where we already have gone to war and fixed our country. Absolutely true. Wow. But see, now in today's political climate, if you say, this is my country, is it really yours? I mean, didn't you steal the land? And is it really your country? I mean, isn't America everybody's country? We've gotten so soft and mamby-pamby, and we've just gotten away from, no, I'm not some American nationalist that, subscribe. I'm not a fascist. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your country. There's no reason to be ashamed of being white. I didn't enslave anybody. I worked like a slave. I didn't enslave anybody. You just get tired of it. You get tired of the incessant whining by the left to the point of, and the left is always talking about, we need to mobilize. We need to, get a little bit more aggressive. Come to me with that. Yeah. I'll meet you.
I like the uneducated arguments from folks. Well, the natives were here first. We should give it back to them. Have you read anything about the Cherokee raids and how they would and they weren't just up against the settlers from Europe that were here in the 1800s. They would go and raid neighboring tribes and enslave people from them.
The Comanches.
the Comanches
right
were
in
even
this
worse.
Area were just
Yeah.
right here in Victoria County.
The Karankawas ate people.
Yeah, the Comanches would just kill you.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. I mean,
They conquered the land as much as
That's
the
right.
white people did.
that's right. They took it from the dinosaurs, dude.
Give it back to the amoebas and the protozoas and see what happens.
There you have it.
See if
The
they
big
could
words
see if
for the
they
day.
could, see if they could keep our buildings.
Folks, it's the top of the hour. It's time for us to get out of here. We love you. I'm going to be gone. I'll be in D.C. Feel free to text me if there's something you want done up there.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to save the democracy or the republic. Love you guys.
Save Canada while you're at it.
Easily.
Well, I
Bye.
get
Bye, folks.
down to my near every bar around.